Just quickly about Jenny Morrison on 60 Minutes last night. About 500,000 people saw the profile that was mainly about Carl, but in there somewhere was a conversation with the Prime Minister and his wife, and even a little cutaway of the kids. This was the reaction, of course, from news.com.au. Notice Kevin Rudd never talks about this. Anyway, also other great outrages because Jenny Morrison responded to Grace Tame behaving as she did, which apparently was seen as an attack. Oh, who cares, right? And this was even taken up as a reason to vote at the next election. Women's Agenda, which has got some connections through some of the people who work to it, to the union movement, but who would dare tell you that? 5 moments from the Morrison interview that says we need a new PM. Now, of all of the guff, there was one bit in it that to me sums up the entire election. She's saying exactly the same thing as the Prime Minister and exactly the same thing that we have said on this show for years. And it's the truth about the reality of the world that we live in versus the one the media lives in. Here's what she said about most of the noise that makes up much of the news that supposedly is going to decide your vote.
I think the Australian people, on the whole, they totally know what's going on. I think they have been very disappointed with seeing some of the things that are going on at the moment. I truly believe that. And sometimes the loudest people take up the most space. But there's a lot of other people out there that are just concentrating on their families and just having a good life.
That's why I think the election is fundamentally about, is your life better than it was 3 years ago? Well, the truth is, if you had JobKeeper, yes, because you kept your job. If you're one of the million people who've got a job in the past couple of years, yes, your life got better. You know that this government will stand up against China, and you know that Labor will be puppeted by the Greens. Those 3 things will decide the election. But that's why the media won't let you hear those 3 things. The election must be about everything else, because all of those other things are, of course, things that mean we change our vote. But the reality is that we make the choices. Nothing is inevitable. I've said that about 2019. I say it about 2022. Nothing is inevitable. So they can play all their games and tell us what's definitely going to happen, but you and I know what's probably going to happen, which is normal people will make a very obvious judgment about the course that we're on versus the unknown course that we go on when Albo's in charge, but KK, Penny Wong and Jim Chalmers are the ones really calling the shots. Leave me out of that.